Okay, welcome to Ensk. Now, for some reason, people have voted for this map on my Discord. It's going to be probably a shorter map guide because there's not so much to talk about with this map. If you're going to look at the map, then the main points are going to be around, like, it's just around here. Like, let's be honest, the entire map is so small that, like, the entire map is kind of the play area. There's no, like, kind of not like hot zones for this map. You can go along this bit and you're going to get farmed by anyone sitting over here, or alternatively down here, so you can't really push this side. The main points are going to be around here and around kind of here. Not many people are going to be going around here, apart from maybe some people that want to try and get some flanking shots from people that are over here. On encounter, this bit here and this bit here are blocked off, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But keep that in mind. But yeah, let's just get into some spots because there's not really too much to talk about. This map is mainly for heavy tanks and well-armoured tank destroyers. Apart from that, you don't really want to get this map with a lightly armoured tank. Okay, so the light tanks. I mean, the only place that you can really go is, apart from just kind of actively spotting in the middle of the map, like, which I really wouldn't recommend you do, you can get some early spots on people that are, I mean, you can go up on this train, but don't do that. I was just trying to turn around. You can get some early spots on people that are crossing here by just sitting in any one of these kind of lines. You shouldn't get spotted unless you fire, or they have very, very good view range, because as a light tank you should have good camo rating. So you can spot all the way down to here. The main one that I'd recommend you actually spot from is this one here, just simply because there's nothing blocking your vision here. So you've got no buildings in the way or anything like that. You can see all the way to the back, and you just have to kind of go like this. You can spot people really early on in the game. You can usually spot like whoever is going across here, because they'll be going like this into there, so you can get good vision for your team early on in the game. Apart from that, the only other thing to do, and exactly the same thing works the other side, so I'm not going to show you that because it's pretty self-explanatory. You just go onto this hill, and there's plenty of bushes around here that you could sit in. It just depends on which one you want to kind of use. You can use this one, as long as you're in a light tank. It doesn't have to be an EBR. You can sit in this bush, get some spots on people, or alternatively, if you are in an EBR and you're really fast, you can get into this bush, and then you can actually spot people as they're coming up and around, and even at the back of the map there. So yeah, that's light tanks. You can't do a lot on this map. As I said, it's going to be pretty quick for light tanks and probably pretty quick for tank destroyers because there's not too much for you to do. But yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Do not go into the city unless there's damage there and the kind of game has progressed onwards. But yeah, that's light tanks. Okay, so for the medium tanks. Now, for these, you're going to want to go into the city. The only alternative is to go over here, which I will show you as well. But to start off with, I'm going to show you this spot here. Now, this is what I was saying when on encounter, these kind of archways, or like, yeah, I suppose like windows, are blocked off. So these are all blocked off with rubble up to the actual ceiling of it. The same for these two here. But from here, if you're on standard battle, which is the only thing that I play, just simply because I don't really like how encounter and assault plays, then you can get here some super early spots and shots on people that are crossing here. If you're in a Leo, considering that you're really fast, you can get here and then just get easy shots on people that are crossing here, because you should have enough vision. Besides, this twig doesn't get in the way. I mean, as you can see, look, if we move the twig, hang on, look, we can actually somehow see him through a wall. But yeah, that's besides the point. You'll be able to get easy shots on people from this bit, and any one of these spots work. You can also go to this spot over here, and you can get some shots on people that are crossing at the start. But just be warned, you're kind of exposing your turrets, so the Leo isn't going to be the best thing to stay here. If you get something like, I don't know, maybe a 430U, or something like that, something with good turret armor, STB1 would be insane here. then you can use that turret armor to your advantage and go hold down and just farm people. Even like you get a chieftain in here. I mean, what are they going to do then? But yeah, at the start of the game, this is really useful. Okay, so for the next spot on medium tanks is going to be over this side of the map. You can go here in heavy tanks, although I wouldn't really always recommend it, just simply because you have to cross the open bit here, and if you're on a slow heavy tank, just forget about it. Do not go this side unless you get a good spawn. But from this point, as long as you have armor, you can actually get into this spot here, and then actually shoot people that are shooting from up there, or people that are pushing this. If you control this bit here, this middle bit, then you actually have good control over the field and also anyone that's trying to push here. So it's kind of useful. You can also go up to these barrels or these pipes. These are non-destructible, as you can see. You can't shoot through them. All of these wood logs are destructible apart from the pipes. So keep that in mind. I've actually flipped myself going like this, and then I went up this this barrel. So yeah, don't do that. Those pipes don't move. Okay, now you know. But yeah, once you win this, then you can progress on and just finish off people. Exactly the same thing as from the alternate side. So if you're on the enemy side, this side down here, then you can come to here and use this spot as your kind of shooting area. Or alternatively, you could go up to the barrels, and you're relatively safe when you go up to the barrels. Apart from the fact that people can shoot your turret. Or you can go all the way up and really put some pressure on people there. It just depends on what your playstyle is. I would suggest sitting around this area here, or all of this area here, if you're spawning on this side and want to go this way, or you go up to the field and try and snipe people from down there. It just depends on your playstyle. Let's quickly go and have a look at another spot that we can use, which is over this side, and then we'll move on to the heavy tanks. Okay, so the other spot over here, ignore the gross tractor. This spot here is going to be the exact same thing as shooting people from over there, as you can see. So you kind of have like what's the word? Like an alt position for this, a counter position for this. So over there, then you can go hold down. Although you're not going to get many people to actually shoot at, other than the people that hold down there. So yeah, use that as you will. The only other spot is actually back here. A lot of people don't use this, but from back here, you can actually get shots on people that are through the gaps here. Now, I don't know why people don't use this, because it's honestly, like, I see so many people that over peek from here. All you have to do is just sit back here. You've even got this bush here that you can just stay behind cover and shoot people. Exactly the same thing works for the other side as well. So this house here, you could just stay at the back if you're in something like a Leo, and then shoot people as they over peak, and you can get some easy damage on people. But yeah, that's medium tanks. We're now going to move on to heavy tanks. As you can tell, this map doesn't have too much to it, but hopefully you've learnt something and you can kind of know where to go a bit easier next time. Okay, so for the heavy tanks, a few spots that you can go to. The main spot is going to be around here. This is where you'll see the majority of heavy tanks sit. You don't really want to go anywhere else, honestly, because there's going to be so much damage potential for you around here that you just don't want to go anywhere else. What I would suggest is, if you are a kind of lower tier, then you can actually use this to your advantage here. You see how you can see through this gap, and you've got the building there, and obviously this is the closest building, that's the furthest building away. So you can actually shoot through this gap here and stay relatively safe, relatively hold down, although you can kind of see the lower plate a little bit, but it's going to be a harder shot for the enemies. So you can just sit here, stay relatively safe, and then take some shots and then pull back straight away. It's a good way to just get the first shot of damage off, and then pull back straight away and then move around to somewhere else. But either one of these two kind of corridor alleyways here is where you would want to be. You can side scrape on them, you can do whatever you want on them, but honestly, like, just being around here, you could even wait. What I would not recommend you do is sit like this out in the open, exposing everything, because you're just going to get shot like that. If you're going to try and peek this, then peek like this, so that you can kind of stay as well angled as possible. But yeah, honestly, just go wherever you can in this spot. It's hard for me to tell you where to go, because there isn't really a spot that I can just say, yeah, you go there, because this place is packed. You just go wherever you can to actually get some damage done. And yeah, that's my advice for you for heavy tanks, because exactly the same thing for the other side here. You can side scrape on this corner here, or you know what this is here. You can side scrape on any one of the corners. It's not as packed on this side because it's a little bit more open, whereas over there is a lot more compact and squished. So you can really use these buildings a bit more to your advantage and really side scrape on these, whereas on the other side it's a little bit more, you know, squished, as I've said. So yeah, just try and get into a spot where you feel you can do some damage and you're not affecting your team too much, because the last thing that anyone wants is someone just like ramming them like when they're trying to do something. So by all means, like, you know, move around, try and get some damage done, but yeah, you get what I mean. Apart from that, don't really go anywhere else, honestly. You can go this way if you want to, but as I've already stated, there's not really much point unless you get a very, very good spawn for it. But yeah, besides that, you just play here. Okay, so finally the TDs. The first spot that I'm going to show you is this spot up here, just simply because this is actually a really nice spot to sit in. If anyone comes down this kind of corridor here, then you can get easy shots on them and also just spot them really easily as well, because there's no bushes or anything in the way. You should be able to spot this easily. The alternate position, which I will show you, is the position over here, but both of them do exactly the same thing. You just aim down here, wait for someone to make the mistake of actually exposing themselves, and then you shoot them. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like, I'm not going to talk too much about it because, yeah. The other spot is to go and wait by the rails, a bit like the light tank does, and then shoot down here. But yeah, besides that, there's one spot over here which I'll show you right now, and that's over here. What you can do is just sit in this position and just wait for anyone that makes a mistake of going through the middle, or if anyone peeks on the actual field area over here, then you can punish them for it. Alternatively, you can go further up and sit by this house, but the main problem with this house is it's all destructible. Okay, so this house can just completely go. Whereas these two, well, this house can go, but this house will never go. This is a solid object, so stay behind this house and you can just farm some damage from the back. Yeah, let's quickly switch sides and show you a few spots you can sit in with your TDs on that side. Okay, so now we're on the other side. I'm going to show you just a few spots over here that you can use. Starting off with this bush right here. If you use this bush, then you can actually shoot anyone that's down here. Although you can't actually see them, but you'll be able to shoot anyone that's over that way. Also, this bush over here is kind of like the go-to bush for TDs, and also some light tanks like to use it. As I said, I didn't show the field for the light tanks on this side because, I mean, look how many bushes you have. You can just go and choose whatever one you want. But yeah, you can go over here and you can shoot down on people. Be warned that there's a slight mound here, so they're going to have to kind of be quite far back. If they're up closer to this wall, then you're not really going to be able to shoot them. But that being said, anyone that goes to the field, you can shoot. Anyone that pushes through here, you can shoot. It's just nice and easy for you to actually get some shots on people. Okay, and the final spot is where the Grows tractor is. It's over here. As you can see, you can go and shoot anyone that's over this way. There used to be bushes here, I think, but then they removed them. But what you can do is just knock down these trees, knock it down like that, and then you can pull back, wait for the tree to become solid, and then you can shoot through the tree. So yeah, you can use that to your advantage. You've got plenty of cover to fall back on as well, if you so choose. Yeah. That's just Ensk. It's just a small map. There's not really too much to do. If you did enjoy this video, then please do subscribe and leave a like on the video, as it really does help me out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.